Back in May of 2009, my brother and I decided to try and do a little exploring of the abandoned Oregon City Waterworks, which is located up the South Fork of the Clackamas River, about 9 miles southeast of Estacada, Oregon. With little information at the time on how to get in there, and uncertain of the surrounding terrain, we decided the most surefire method was to cross the main Clackamas on a canoe and explore from the bottom up. Once inside the area, the exploring was very Indiana Jones-like, with waterfalls, bridges, pipelines, artifacts, and several tunnels along the way. The canoe method in worked okay, but it was still kind of a hassle, so while we were in the area, we also did some scouting on alternative ways. Looking up the hill about 100 yards past the tunnel on the Mammaloos seemed to at least be doable. 2 years later, a little more research, and talking to others who have gone that way, I decided to give it a try myself. That is where this video starts, on the steep path that leads straight to the Memaloose Creek for a second exploration of the Oregon City Waterworks of the South Clackamas River area. Okay, I'm probably about a third of the way down the hill here. And so far so good. It's not too steep. Lots of rocks and stuff, but it looks like it might start to get steeper. I can kind of start to see the Memaloose Creek down there right now, so I'll keep on going down. Well, I made it down without any major issues. Did get kind of steep there towards the end. The rocks are pretty loose and stuff, but other than that, a nice little path to follow. Not too bad considering it's kind of wet out and everything. There's a couple spots there where I had to put my hand down on the ground just to give more stability, but not too bad for having a backpack on and everything. But yeah, well, here we go. Okay, I'm at the Mammaloos tunnel here. The upper end of the tunnel. And I don't know if you can see, but there's the brink of the Mammaloos Falls right through the trees there. So I'm gonna go on the other side of the tunnel and see if I can get a picture of the falls. Okay, I climbed above the tunnel there and got on top of it and kind of walked around, and I'm basically right now we're looking at the brink of the Mammaloos Falls. Can't really see it there, but the first tier would be right down there, and then the other side of this little knoll you can kind of see the second tier of the falls. I don't really want to venture out much further on this little knoll here, but I'll try to get a better picture of the upper brink of the falls there. Probably can't really see in the picture in the movie here, but it takes a hard right after this first little brink, and then it goes down to the last tier. Just another quick peek here at the Mammaloos from above the tunnel. And the tunnel would be right over there off to the left. excuse the inadequate lighting here. I'm inside the tunnel of the Mammaloos, and I'm looking at what appears to be where someone maybe was sleeping at one time, like a caveman or something, I guess you could call it. Yeah, there's a little dig out here and a little dig out over there, and he has probably made that so that he could protect them from the wind. There's probably some wind that blows through this tunnel at times. And there's evidence of garbage at the far end of the tunnel. Bunch of flashlights and just plain old garbage anymore. But that was there about 2 years ago also, so and it hasn't really changed at all. So I don't think anyone is living in here anymore. But yep, there was life in here at one time. Tunnel of the Mammaloos. Okay, I'm at here at the lower entrance of the Mammaloos tunnel here, and you can see there's a bunch of what appears to be garbage laying around. But I think it was probably more or less supplies of whoever was living here at least 2 years ago. There's a sleeping bag over there and a couple little flashlights here. And I don't know, it is really basically just garbage, but I think it was actually someone's possessions. But I'm gonna head down along the back side of the cave here and try to take a look at the Memaloose Falls. Okay, I'm heading down the hill here to try to find the Memaloose Falls, and there's kind of a little pathway here. Several people have probably been in here before looking for the falls. And it's kind of steep, kind of loose rock and everything. But I think it's probably right around this corner in here. Yeah, and there's it is up there. head back up the hill. There's quite a bit of spray around on this one, so I'm not going to stay on this falls too long. Just my camera's just getting pretty wet. So I'm going to head on back up to the main trail. Well, that'll probably prove to be the most rugged part of the little journey here, climbing out of the Memaloose Falls. But back on the main trail again and heading down towards the South Clackamas. Okay, we're still along the Mammaloos here, and found an old structure here, probably part of the old water collection deal. And it looks like it might have been maybe a holding tank of some sort or something. Those walls, those doors over there have like slots in the brickwork to probably to allow some planks to go in there and seal up and everything. And they got like a little a climbing ladder to get in and out there. And there's a pipe sticking out of here, and they got a steel netting around. It's probably like a retaining wall. A bunch of rocks are filled in with it. And I don't know if you can see, but over there by the river, you can see like a, I don't know, it looks like about a 16-inch aluminum culvert. So head back on the road. And further downstream, we got some more evidence of the water collection that was going on in this area. We got a pipe coming into a big, probably a big tank of some sort at one time, and there's a big gate valve here with a hand crank on it. Several posts on either side of probably what the tank was. Pretty much all gone, but still interesting to see some of the old stuff. Okay, not far down from the last structure we're looking at. Here's the bridge that crosses what is now the South Fork of the Clackamas. And you can see the waterworks pipe alongside it here. I believe it's like an 18-inch pipe or something. I don't know. I probably should have brought my tape measure, but it's a pretty big pipe. And you might notice I didn't bring my dog with me this time, since I'm all alone here. Last time my brother was with me 2 years ago, and we had to kind of hoist her across this little spot here to get her on top of the bridge again. And yeah, it's kind of dangerous spot for a dog who can't really see above what she's jumping into, you know. And there's several open spaces here that she could fall into if she went too far, and of course she could fall down here where it washed out in here. Probably never get her out of that. And on top of that, she came home with about 12 ticks on her from that last journey. So yeah, it's not a great area for dogs. I also noticed here that the last time I was here, there was the guardrail was still intact. It was like a cable through a post type of system, but it looks like all the posts have dropped down, maybe rotted away or something. But yeah, that's deteriorated a little bit since I've been here last. The confluence of the Memaloose and the South Clackamas is upstream, maybe about 50 yards here. So I'll cross the bridge and we'll go explore the road on the other side. I just figured I'd take a quick look at the confluence there. The Memaloose is on the left and South Clackamas is on the right. And I'm walking on the bridge here. There's a nice old growth tree crossing. If this bridge ever gives way, we could probably use that to get across the South Clackamas. Okay, I'm heading downstream now on the road that follows along the South Clackamas. And I can kind of see the brink of the lower South Clackamas Falls here. I'll see if I can see that through the trees here. So yeah, I'll head down below that and get a few pictures of that. Well, there appears to be quite a bit of flow going over the lower falls here, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to get down there or not, but there might be quite a bit of spray too to deal with, so. But I got a couple more tunnels here to go through. I don't see any evidence of cavemen in this one here. Its little brother is up here also. Yeah, I don't know if I can get down there or not. That looks pretty steep. And I'll see if there's another way. Okay, I'm just past the tunnel about 50 yards or so, and this looks like the way everyone's going down there. At least it's not as steep as the, at least appears from here, not as steep as the going down to the Mammaloos Falls, but it's hard to say right at the creek level if it drops off any. But now I'll check her out. Okay, that wasn't too hard coming down, but got a little bit of a view here. The cliff off to the right and the tree off to the left, but it appears the same old logs are in there again that were standing up 2 years ago. So not much has changed there. Maybe I'll head down and see if I can get maybe a closer look. Well, there was quite a bit of spray coming off of it. I was down there and taking a few pictures and stuff, and yeah, it's kind of blowing up against the bank there and then dropping right back down. And actually standing under this tree here is not really helping much either. It's just kind of collecting it all and converting it to bigger drops. So yeah, I'm going to head back up and go down the road some more, down towards the main Clackamas. Okay, I'm down here near the end by the main Clackamas River here, and there's another structure here. Might have something to do with the cable crossing that went across the Clackamas, but it's not a very stable structure. But it's got some sort of a box in here and stuff, and might have been some sort of landing platform or something. But I'm gonna go head over and see the the confluence of the South Clackamas to the main Clackamas. And well, there's really not a whole lot to see here. Not really very scenic. Got the highway up above there and big cliff in the background. That's looking down the Clackamas. That's looking up, and then we got the South Fork looking up it. So I guess maybe I'll take one little quick snapshot and head on back up and try to get to the main Clackamas Falls. Got a little fire hydrant out here in the middle of nowhere. It's actually not too far away from where that A-frame cable crossing thing might have been. But yeah, I don't know if it's hooked up into the main pipe or not, but sitting out here, looks like it needs a coat of paint. Got a little hanging moss display here alongside the trail. Kind of cool in a way. Passing back through the double cave here. And back up. Hello! Hello! We'll have to stop and check each time. Sometimes my GPS will shut off when I go past through those caves, so see if she did that. No, still working. That's the lower South Clackamas Falls there again. Okay, I'm back here at the confluence of the Mammaloos and the South Fork of the Clackamas, and it's kind of starting to get late, so I'm not going to head up to the main Clackamas Falls today. I might try that tomorrow, but I'm going to take a few pictures here and of the bridge here and head home and maybe see what tomorrow brings. Okay, I'm back on the hill here, heading up, and it's definitely a workout getting out, but it's not really too bad. I might have mentioned before that this trail kind of has some switchbacks on it and everything to make it a little bit easier. But I'm probably about a quarter of the way to the top right now. Actually, I should say 3/4 of the way to the top. And it's not getting dark yet, so that's good. This is actually the easier part of the hill climb here. First part down towards the bottom is pretty slippery. A lot of loose rocks and stuff. Yeah, definitely a workout. Okay, I finally broke out on top here. And in case anyone's wondering, this is what it looks like here. It's the end of the spur road. Some old camp tarps here left over and a little campfire. But basically you just come in this way. You just want to head straight down into those woods down there and you'll find a little trail. And I don't know if I'll be able to finish the upper or the main Clackamas Falls up there or not, but tomorrow. But I got a lawn to mow and everything, and so it actually might be a few weeks or something before I get that finished, but we'll see what happens. Still got a ways here to get back to the car, but I think I got plenty of daylight. Okay, heading back down a logging road here. I think it's the 54 or the 45 or something like that. Yeah, it takes about, from the bridge down at the Mammaloos to where I parked, it's take about 40 minutes hike back up the hill there, so it's just a little bit of a note to self there. Well, today is tomorrow, which happens to be Memorial Day 2011. Grass was too wet to mow, so I figured I'd head on up and try to finish my exploring in the South Clackamas area. I was previewing some of the clips last night, and it looks like this video is going to be another long one. I figure I already have about 30 minutes into it so far, so that's why I'm driving so fast up the 45 road, trying to save a little time. I'm hitting about 85 up some of these straight stretches right now. So hopefully no one's heading down. Finally, we're at the spur road. Whoops. Well, that's great. Now I got a lawn to mow and a car to fix. Oh well, it's a day 2. I'm back here on the spur road. I'm heading down to do the upper end of the South Clackamas. And that should include the main falls and the long tunnel at the end, and what I like to call the Rotting Bridge o' Death. So I'll see you down there. Well, I'm about 400 feet upstream from the bridge on the South Clackamas River. You can kind of see the South Clackamas Falls in the background back there, but this is the location where on many maps they pinpoint where the lower South Clackamas Falls is at. But as we saw yesterday, that's actually downstream from the bridge about a quarter of a mile. So yeah, so that just kind of goes to show you that you can't really always trust your maps. Okay, I'm here at the lower end of the log bridge that leads to the final tunnel there, that eventually leads to the top of South Clackamas Falls, over there on the left. And I was looking at the old bridge here, and it's, I don't know, I think it's just been here too long to call safe anymore. And it's looking a little rotten. My brother crossed it about 2 years ago, and he said it seemed pretty wobbly then, so I think I'm going to take the alternative route, which is over here, and it hugs the bank on the right and basically just bypasses all that and goes right to the tunnel again. So that's my plan, get up to the tunnel. Just got a small little creek here to navigate around on this bypass path here. Nothing too technical. And we're at the tunnel. Okay, I was thinking this was the final tunnel here, but it's actually one of a couple small tunnels, I think, before you reach the big long tunnel. This one's fairly well lit. Don't even need a flashlight for here. In fact, it's actually showing up on a camera, it looks like. Imagine the crashing and banging that happened when those logs came tumbling down the hill there. Kind of surprised they're still all in one piece. Okay, this is the final tunnel, I promise here. Got my headlight on and my my spare keychain flashlight. So I'm ready to roll. Not sure if you can see, but it kind of appears as if the little footboard walk here is really deteriorated since I was here last. But that's okay, because I didn't really trust it then anyway, so I'll stick to the rocks. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel way up there. And my GPS just beeped, so that indicates there's no GPS coverage in here, which would be expected. So up we go. Okay, so far I counted about 100 steps from the bottom down there. You can see the light. And it appears I'm probably about halfway there. So I'd have to estimate this tunnel being maybe 200 yards long. But I'll continue counting on the way up, and then on the way back I'll count down too, just to get an estimate of how long the tunnel actually is. Okay, I'm at the top here. I counted another 53 steps. You can barely see the opening down there at the beginning of the tunnel at the bottom. But yeah, so I kind of misjudged about where halfway point was down there. Probably because this opening is a lot smaller than the one down at the bottom. Probably made it seem like it was farther away than it really was. But yeah, so it's probably about 150 yards total, length of the tunnel here. But yeah, like I said, on my way back I'll count again and probably get an average here. You can see the retaining wall for the water collector at the end here. We'll be going off the little ledge there, off to the left, get up on top. Well, I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to hear me with all the noise from the South Clackamas, but I'm standing on top of what would have been the water collector. And in the water here we got a diverter dam, which looks like the middle segment has broken over, but it is probably used to help divert water into this opening in the water collector, and eventually send it into the pipes, which were starting in the tunnel there that we just came out of. And those are probably, well, at this point, probably about 40 yards ahead up there, just past that log. And probably another, let's see if I can get a good picture of it here. Well, you can barely make out the brink of the South Clackamas Falls, and that's probably about 70 yards ahead. So I'm going to take a few pictures around here and then head back down through the tunnel. I'm going to see if I can get a little bit better picture of the brink of the falls before heading down into the tunnel again. So yeah, maybe from that little bit of that ledge up there or something. But yeah, so if you don't hear from me, you can probably look for my body down there somewhere at the bottom of the falls. Okay, all packed up. Got my headlight on and ready to go back down in the tunnel. See you at the other end. Alright, made it out of the tunnel okay. I counted 150 steps again that time, so it's probably about 150 yards, I guess. I don't know, they seem like I made smaller steps going down this time, but still counted 150, so I'm going to go around this little ledge here and see if I can get a little better picture of the South Clackamas Falls. This is the same location I took my Google Earth picture from 2 years ago. But the sun was out then and there was a lot more shadow casting and stuff, and a lot less waterfall friendly. But today I got pretty good overcast lighting, and so it should turn out a lot better this time. A bit more flow this time too. Might end up actually replacing that old one. Little note to self here. I'm in between the two tunnels, the two final tunnels. And there's a little view of the falls here, but I was looking for a way down to the bottom of the falls, and it looks like this might be it. It's still fairly steep, but it looks doable. I'm not going to do it today. Maybe the next time I'm up here, because there's quite a bit of spray coming out of the bottom of the falls, so I'll probably just get all wet and everything, so probably not worth it today. Just another quick scan from the uphill side of the Bridge o' Death that I won't be using this time either. I will be going that way though. I was filming my brother from this exact same spot here back in 2009 of him crossing that bridge. And yeah, he's still alive today to talk about it. heading on out here along the Memaloose, and I mentioned earlier about the mislocation of the lower Clackamas Falls on some maps in this area, and it appears that there's another error here along the Memaloose where some maps are saying that there's a lower Memaloose Falls, but I do not see it. Well, I'm just about at the beginning of the spur road now, which means that this video is finally over. I was looking at some of the clips last night and kind of adding together what I got today. It looks like this could easily turn into an hour-long video, so if you're still watching, I applaud you for that. I just hope it all downloads okay for me. If you want any more information on the area, I'll throw some links down below. There's some discussions on some forums about other people's journeys in here and their pictures and stuff. And I think there's one link that discusses the Oregon City Waterworks history on that, which was about I guess a century ago. And there's one link that discusses about a proposed trail system, and they might be putting in here, so that's kind of interesting. No more walking down cliffs or crossing the Clackamas on a canoe to get in here and explore around. And yeah, I've been wearing a GPS on me both days, and I've got an external antenna for it that I've been wearing underneath my hat, and it kind of helps improve the accuracy a little bit. But yeah, the GPS coverage down here is kind of poor, so hopefully I can kind of get an accurate track going and kind of place where some of these roads and trails are and down here, and waterfalls and bridges and stuff and the tunnels, and maybe make a Google Earth KML file or a Garmin GPX file out of that. So if you want one of those, yeah, just let me know and I can email you one of those files. But other than that, hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. Crap, where's my car?